Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. I am your host, Derek Fage, and I know I say this every show I'm excited about, and I am just as excited about today's show than any other, because it's about giving back, and so many ways to give back, whether it's telling your own story and helping raise awareness, or helping raise funds, or donating clothing or household items. This is what we're going to be discussing on today's show. Each and every one of these segments is about supporting someone in your community. And we start off with one of the oldest and most successful organizations here in the city of Ottawa, and that is Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm joined by its Executive Director, Susan Ingram. Susan, welcome to the show. Wonderful to have you here. And I say it every time we have you on the show. Everybody knows about the organization and how wonderful it is, but I just want you to speak on it a little bit and tell us a little bit about, those life-changing moments for so many youth here in our community, what it means to them.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. Well, Big Brothers Big Sisters, we've been in the city for over 50 years, supporting youth between the ages of 6 and 24 and providing these amazing relationships, these amazing mentoring relationships to them. And, what I've seen, I've been with the organization 10 years, and in my 10 years, I've seen some transformational life-changing relationships that youth that have been meeting with their mentors from the age of 6, who go on to be meeting with them until they're 18 plus, who are now, some of them are graduating from university, some are going to their mentors' weddings, being part of the family and being there when they have additional siblings, etc. So it's just an amazing thing to watch, that it's life-changing and life-lasting.
Yeah, and you're always looking for new initiatives. I think most organizations are, and even pre-pandemic, always looking at something new and interesting, ways to raise funds, raise awareness. And you have a new one called Thrive. Tell us about it.
Right. So Thrive actually started as our Clothes for Kids' Sake program. In 2016, we were trying to find new ways to raise dollars to support our mentoring programs. And we started off with some clothing bins in 2016, and then partnered with the Ottawa Catholic School Board, in which they allowed us to put new bins across the city. And so we've been collecting clothes since 2016, and we're just over the £1 million mark of how many clothes we've actually collected.
Wow.
And yeah, an amazing partnership with the Catholic School Board. And that was phase 1. And we collect gently used clothing. We don't collect anything else.
Right.
In phase 2, we really wanted to collect, we wanted to move into potentially a retail location. And in 2020, obviously things didn't happen. COVID occurred.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't able to open up a store, but we opened up a thrift store. And Thrive Thrift Select is where you can go and buy gently used clothing online. And we have items for young people, items for adults, items for infants, and we ship Canada Post, or you can come and pick it up at our location right now at Confederation High School in Ottawa, which is where our offices are. But really the goal is, we're doing two things, right? We are providing support to our youth in Ottawa, because the dollars we raise come right back into our programs, to our mentoring programs. And the second piece is, we're helping the environment. Keeping £1 million of clothes out of landfills has been really significant. And also being able to bring these dollars back in to be able to create our mentoring programs and provide these opportunities for our youth.
Yeah, it's a great point all around. There are so many wins involved, and you're probably looking for spring clothing, because if those people that follow the fashion world, spring clothing probably started like a month ago, right? You're starting to see it in other retail stores, but that's what you're looking for right now. Tell us a little bit, you mentioned gently used. So what are you looking for exactly, and what types of items at the moment for spring?
Well, pretty basic, right? We're looking for any type of clothing, obviously, that would be good for spring or summer. We take shoes, belts, jackets, pants, you name it. Anything that you can dress up in, we'll accept. But yeah, definitely purses, bags, even we would take bedding, some bedding, comforters, that type of thing. Yeah.
The inspiration behind this is pretty obvious. Is this, are you, Susan, as a group, always thinking of different ways of how you're going to raise funds? And I'd like to talk too, if you don't mind, the impact that the pandemic has had on of course, those young people in communities right across the city, and the impact it's had on some of those programs and some of the youth that you serve.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely, these types of social enterprises are becoming more common and more needed for charities to find new creative ways to support their charities and find new ways of fundraising. So that was one of the reasons we started this social enterprise. But to your point about COVID, I can speak directly to Big Brothers Big Sisters. We were slightly lucky in terms of our youth and our mentors are still able to meet one another virtually. That's the
Right.
good thing about the work that we do. However, what we did see is an increase in demand of our
Okay.
youth wanting to reach their mentors, and also an increase in demand from our families. But 2 years later, we're creating new relationships virtually. All of our mentors showed up in the 2 years during the pandemic. None of our relationships ended because of COVID. So we actually had some good news. But
Excellent.
definitely those youth needed to have those mentors even more because they were isolated and not able to go into schools, etc. It was really necessary for them to have those mentors even more.
Susan, for those that would like to donate or they'd like to make a purchase, where should they go?
So for Thrive Thrift, it's thrivethrift.ca.
Okay.
You can go. That's the website to purchase clothing. To actually donate clothes, you can go to any of our bins across the city. If you go to bbbso.ca, which is our website, you'll find the map to the locations of all of our clothing
Excellent.
bins. And I
All
have
right.
a bit of a small
Sorry,
announcement
Susan, I
too.
just run out of time here. We'll be back with more right after this.